A pleasant morning to everyone. I am Kevin Jake M. Gahayan together with Mr. Duel Christian Ajir R. Domingo have prepared this slide presentation discussing about the cognitive development in the early adulthood stage. To formally proceed with our sharing, I would like to elaborate what this adulthood mean is. Adulthood is the stage of a person's life when they have reached completely physical and mental development. It is often assumed to begin at the age of 20 or 21 years. According to Morse L. Medley's Journal of Aging and Human Development, she had examined and includes that there are four stages of adulthood, namely early adulthood, ages from 22 to 34 years old, early middle age, from 35 to 44 years old, late middle age ranges from 45 to 64 years old, and late adulthood from 65 years old and above. And the transition from the adolescence to the stages of adulthood is linked to specific biological events and more personal, social, and cultural forces or events. And some of the normative events associated with young adulthood includes the following: graduating from high school, moving out of the parents' home, entering into a committed relationships, starting down a career path, and financially independence. In accordance with Klaus Warner Shai, a professor of human development and psychology at Penn State, he devoted his research to the study of cognitive development over the lifespan and called the adolescence is the period of acquisition, acquiring the ability of formal operational thinking. However, he then defined that young adulthood is the period for achieving, wherein the individual uses their intellectual ability to make decisions, to solve problems, set and work toward the achievement of goals such as family or career objectives, which is known as the post formal thought. In the young adulthood period, it is undeniable to think which is considered to be the most difficult decision they could possibly be anxious to think about what would really be the role that they will play right after their graduation. This will illustrates that Erickson's fifth stage of psychosocial development, which is identity, may continue as an unresolved issue for the young adult. Backing up the fifth stage of Erickson's psychosocial development, the identity in Gold's theory, he agreed that identity formation begins between the ages of 16 and 22, when people are challenging the false assumption that they will always enjoy the safety of their parents. They must build an identity that their parents cannot control or dominate. He said that the first stage of young adulthood is a period of developing an independence, challenging their parents' assumptions of the world, finding safety beyond their parents, developing a sense of family beyond their core family, and dealing with such issues related to physical development. To continue with our sharing, may I call on Mr. Domingo to present his part. Mr. Domingo, take it away.
Thank you, Bev. There are challenges of transitioning to the workforce that are different from challenges in school. Here are some of the challenges of transitioning that are different from challenges in school that young adulthood might have encountered and experienced. In school, you may have a lot of teachers, but in the workplace, may have only one boss. In school, are a lot of frequent evaluations like exams, while in your work are annual, quarterly, or monthly review. In school, one might have a short-term relationships with classmates and long-term relationships with the coworkers. In school, sometimes someone would tell you what to do when it's due, but in the workplace, maybe some would told you, or maybe you have to figure it out. You must be self-motivated all the time. These are just examples of the different experience might an individual can experience upon growing up and taking place to a another stage of human life. Another one of those normative events of young adulthood is that the majority of people must work and earn money to become financially independent. This is a factual example for every one of us. The following are the qualities that an employer will expect from, from an employee, and many of them would also apply to self-employment. In the work ethics, it includes the pride, the attendance, integrity, the attitude, and the maximum effort of a person. Or the other column of work excellence, we could actually see that there are productivity, communication, and good customer service, problem solving, time management, the appearance, followership, and organization that continues learning and be a good team leader. Here are just some of the few examples. And in the cultural norms of young adulthood is somehow related to what Erickson's sixth stage of psychosocial development, intimacy, which is entering into a committed relationship. Intimacy means a close family or usually affectionate or loving personal relationship with another person. It is reciprocal, a two-sided. It may or may not include sexual intimacy, and also it may or may not end in a marriage, which may depend on the laws of your state. Not achieving this can also lead to feelings of isolation. To conclude our presentation, early or young adulthood are often referred to as the 20s or 30s. It is the period where people are more focused on securing their future and putting a lot of energy towards making the best choices that will probably help one another earn the status of a full adult in the eyes of others. Their primary concerns includes love or affectionate and their career at this stage of life. Thank you.
And that would end our discussion on the cognitive development of early or young adulthood. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. And if you want to read more articles about early or young adulthood, you may refer to the presented links on the slide. Again, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.